All I knew was just being a loser, taking these L's or failing. I can't do that. How am I supposed to succeed with this? The person who took all those L's, that person that used to stop and start all the time on YouTube, you're gonna keep going no matter if it takes you 20 years to get there. I will never stop trying. You no longer struggle with the lust. When you do have the best physique in the gym, you're not gonna stop. You're gonna die trying. Do not hate on the next man. What did this person do to get to that point where he's now getting all the success? Yo, what's good, my YouTube family? Alex Moore here, back again with another video. Thank you as always for tuning into the channel. Make sure you guys do follow me on Instagram at @realalexmore_. That's the best place for y'all to catch me when I'm not posting on here. If you guys don't know, I am currently on a journey of transforming my life, creating a new reality, and just finally becoming the man that I want to be. For so many years, for so long, I've went through life just being depressed, went through life being unconfident, went through life being frustrated, went through life being a drifter, and just pretty much accepting whatever it is that life has thrown at me. I've decided to kill that reality, take what I want from life, get that inner confidence in me, and become the man that I know I'm supposed to be at the end of the day. And I've already seen my confidence really start to pick up, and it's picked up for the most part because I'm actually taking action on a lot of the things that I've never done. I've been taking action on things such as posting on YouTube consistently. For the longest time, I've wanted to be a big time YouTuber, but I've never really put in the work needed to actually succeed with that. And even when I did put in the work for short periods of time, I was so focused on the output instead of the input that when the views didn't go up or when the subscribers didn't go up, I would always quit. Well, one thing I'm challenging myself to do now is to focus on the input, focus on bringing as much value to you guys as I possibly can, and not worrying about the output, but understanding that in due time, I will get rewarded for this in some type of way. I'm also working on my physique. I've been somebody who's been on the skinny side for a majority of my life. Growing up as a kid, I used to get teased for being so small, and I used to be really short as well. I think my freshman year of high school, I was 4'11", maybe 100 pounds. And I think when I graduated high school, I was like 5'10" or 5'11", but I only weighed 130 pounds. I've always been really small as well. And those things have always really messed with my confidence, as well as just getting teased by people growing up, you know, for smallest things, you know, what kids do. Being teased for my voice being not deep enough, being teased for car not being the nicest car, being teased for not having the freshest clothes growing up, whatever the case may be. Like, I was always teased for something, and that kind of really wavered with my confidence and made me feel like I can't really do the things that I want to do. It's like I feel like I can do it, but these other people have ingrained in my mind the fact that I can't do it. Well, my mindset has recently been able to change. I've slowly started seeing some results, really small, but I have seen some results so far. But I wanted to speak with you guys about what I'm reading from a book called Think of Grow Rich that I think just goes hand in hand with everything that I'm trying to do in my own life right now. There was a specific page that really stuck out to me, and it was talking about the secret formula to get inner confidence. And I just thought that that was mind-blowing, considering for the past 30 years I had struggled with confidence, yet here this one page is in this book, and it's going to give me the blueprint on what I need to do. So I just wanted to share with you guys real quick about the blueprint as well. I do have my whiteboard here. Unfortunately, since I'm in the car, you guys can't really see, so I'm gonna probably just be reading off of it today. The first step is knowing that you have the ability to achieve the object of your definite purpose in life. You must demand yourself to be extremely persistent towards its attainment. What I took from that is knowing exactly what your purpose is, or knowing what the standard is, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life, and basically being persistent enough to not stop until you do succeed at getting item or object is that you want. And that made me think of myself. There's a few things that I'm working on right now. One, I'm working on being able to bench press 225 pounds. Like I just told y'all, I had always been on the slimmer side. I haven't really been the strongest guy in the world, if I'm just being honest with you. You know, I would go to the gym. I've been very active, but typically with low weight, not really lifting heavy weight. But I've challenged myself. You know, I really do want my body to grow. I really do want to make this transformation. I'm demanding myself to bench press 225 pounds and squat 225 pounds. If you go back and look at my most recent video that I posted yesterday, I actually did a in-depth vlog while at the gym, sharing with you guys a little bit about my bench press split, or my bench day split, I should say. But that's one of the things that I have definite purpose about, is being able to lift that weight. Another thing I have definite purpose about is with YouTube. I want to grow my YouTube to at least 10,000 subscribers. You know, I think everybody says, you know, I want the subs, I want this and I want that, but who's actually willing to put in the work? One of the things I've done is I've been able to create a game plan on what I need to do to actually make that a reality. What's separating me this time around from the past is the fact that with doing these things, I'm not focusing on the output. I'm not focusing on the fact that I want to bench press 225 pounds. I'm not focusing on the fact that I want 10,000 subscribers. What I'm focusing on instead is just simply the input. Focusing on the daily task that I need to do on a regular basis or on a weekly basis. So for example, what can you do to bench 225 in the next 6 months? Well, for one, I can eat extremely healthy. I can track my nutrition. I can make sure I'm getting the right protein intake. I can also make sure that I'm going to the gym at least 5 days a week. I can make sure that I'm tracking my lifts and that I'm also pushing myself as hard as I need to on a weekly basis so I am able to progressively overload. What can I do with YouTube? Well, I can post 4 videos per week. I can post 2 to 3 shorts per day. And I can continue to learn about my craft and work on thumbnails and work on titles and see what these other people are doing who have what I want. How can I implement that into my own strategy? So that's a little bit of what my definite purpose is. There's a few other things, but I'm gonna just keep it at those 2 for now. Second step to achieving inner confidence is this. Hill says you will concentrate your thoughts for 30 minutes daily thinking of the person you want to become. And that's huge because you can feel out of line when your reality has been one way of just taking so many losses for all these years, but now all of a sudden you want to start taking wins. It's like, how can I switch to being a winner if all I knew is just being a loser or taking these L's or failing? I can't do that. How am I supposed to succeed with this? Well, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you must have a burning desire for whatever it is that you want to achieve. And when I say burning, I mean you have to literally think about it all day, all night, even when you sleep. The craziest thing happened to me last night. I had a dream that I woke up today and I had 1,281 subscribers. I think last night when I was going to sleep, I went to bed and I had 1,278 subscribers. Again, not really crazy, but I had never dreamed of something like this before. I had never dreamed of like a specific subscriber count just happening or like some type of event happening. Like, I don't know how or why my brain just thought specifically of that last night, because at least to my knowledge, when I was aware, it's not like I was thinking, oh man, I need to have 1,281 subs. Like, that's kind of weird. The weirdest thing happened is I had that dream and then I woke up at probably 4:30 or 5 o'clock this morning. Just happened to look at my phone and it said 1,281 subscribers. And that kind of freaked me out. I'm not going to lie. I had to realize that I have been replaying these thoughts on autopilot for some time now, or at least for the last few weeks. Let me not say for some time, but for the last few weeks, I have become more and more obsessed with the YouTube. I have become more and more obsessed with the gym. I have become more obsessed with stepping outside of my comfort zone and doing things that I don't usually do. And I think all that comes from me taking in the personal development, reading this book, studying the people who are winning and doing the things that I want to do, and understanding that even though I'm not at that point just yet, if I can just copy them, I can kind of get that same blueprint, and that might work for me as well. Over these last few weeks, as I've been doing that, I've slowly started to see myself actually believing that it could happen. And I feel like at the same time, I've been getting a little bit more respect everywhere as well. Like, it's really weird. I do feel like at the gym, I'm getting a little bit more respect now than I was before for hitting the weights hard. On Instagram, people are seeing what I'm doing, and I'm getting a lot more messages, just random messages from random people saying, yo, I respect what you're doing. Like, you making me want to go harder. Like, you making me believe that I can get whatever I want out of life. And it feels weird at first when you're first doing this because, like I said, you haven't had the wins that you want in the past. And it's like all of a sudden you're trying to just do this shift out of nowhere. At first it feels like it's not working, but I don't know what happens, but it's just like as you continue to just do it day by day, you slowly start to build up the confidence to be okay with stepping out of your comfort zone. I'm somebody who hates recording in public. I really don't want to do that, but I challenged myself yesterday to do a gym vlog. I literally had my tripod and my camera set up and I was talking to the camera while the gym was packed. Everybody saw me. Even though it felt so uncomfortable and so weird, I feel like, Alex, this is something you have to do in order to continue to grow as a person and continue to grow as a creator. You can't just keep making videos at home all the time. It felt good doing that after the fact. It felt good switching up the content and doing something different. It kind of just made me feel more aligned, like I was on the right path to being able to bench 225 pounds and feel like you guys are right there with me on that journey. So I know that's kind of weird, but I do feel like just concentrating my thoughts consistently on what it is that I want has slowly aligned me with that person in this current term. And although I don't have those things just yet, I'm living right now as if I do, if that makes sense. I feel like I just rambled a little bit, but I'm hoping that still made sense a little bit. The third step listed to achieving inner confidence is you must devote 10 minutes of your day to demanding yourself the development of self-confidence. You're making this a vocal point of your life on a day in and day out basis. You're reading yourself your affirmations, or you're looking at your standards that you have for the man that you want to be, or you're reading your list of the person that you no longer want to be. I have a list of everything that I'm reading right now as far as the person that I don't want to go back to, the person who took all those L's, that person that used to stop and start all the time on YouTube, or that person who used to struggle with NoFap and used to do good for a week or two, but then he would relapse and then fall down a rabbit hole of watching those types of videos again, or the person who struggled with staying sober. All these things, all these L's that I used to take from that person that I used to be, looking at that every single day, but then looking at the person that I want to be. Look at the person who does have sexual discipline, looking at the person who does have that physique that he wants, looking at that person who did stay consistent with YouTube, and just being able to actually visualize that and see it on a day in and day out basis is huge. I'm telling you guys, you must devote yourself to becoming that man or woman that you want to be, and you must do that by replaying those losses that you had before and replaying in your mind the new reality of how good you're going to feel when you create that new reality, when you no longer struggle with the lust, when you do have the best physique in the gym, when you aren't socially awkward anymore and you have done public speaking or recorded in front of hundreds of people. Just have that confidence because you've been doing it already. You have to be intentional about all this, otherwise it's not going to work. The next thing Hill talks about, this fourth step, he says, I have written down my chief aim in life and I will never stop trying. Think about that for a minute. You have wrote down what you want in life and you will never stop trying until you achieve it. There's a story that he gives in this book, Think and Grow Rich. He talks about this guy, I think his name is Edward Barnes. He wanted to partner with Thomas Edison, who, I mean, we know who Thomas Edison is. He wanted to go into business with Thomas Edison, but for one, he didn't even live in New Jersey where Thomas Edison was at. He was broke. He had no education. He had really no value or anything to really stand out from anybody else to make Edison even think about partnering with him. But he had such a high of a definite purpose, such high of a drive that he was going to be able to partner with Thomas Edison one day, that he did something that most people probably would be too crazy to think to do. He hopped on a freight train. Like, he couldn't even afford a regular train ticket. He had to hop on a freight train and take the train all the way to New Jersey where Edison's company was at. He gets to the company and he looks like just a regular Joe Schmo. So Edison is at least willing to give him a job. He's like, okay, bro, whatever. Like, you could work for me, but you're not partnering with me. Like, who are you? And for 5 years, Barnes ended up working for Edison. But during this time, he still had that definite purpose of, I'm going to go into business with Edison. I'm going to go into business with Edison. I'm going to start out at the bottom and I'm going to work my way up. He's going to see my value. He's going to see what I can add. Well, 5 years later, his chance finally came. I forget what it was, if it was like a telephone subscription or something was going on that Edison was selling, but it was something that none of the salesmen wanted to sell. Like, they all sucked. Barnes realized that this was his big opportunity. This is his chance to shine and show what he can do. Sure enough, Barnes sold the most products out of everybody in the world, and this became like a huge phenomenon. Because of this, Edison was able to partner with him. Like, he ended up partnering with Barnes after all. And I know you might be thinking, Alex, like, that's a random story. Like, why do I care about something that happened hundreds of years ago? But the point of that story is the fact that you can come in and say you want to be a millionaire. If you have that definite purpose, you can make it happen. You don't have to have that college degree, or you don't have to be born into a rich family. But if you have that definite purpose, that desire, whatever it is, that you're not going to stop until you achieve that dream that you want, you're going to keep going no matter if it takes you 5 years to get there, if it takes you 10 years to get there, if it takes you 20 years to get there. You're going to keep working. And I think the problem with us overall is majority of us spend our lives being drifters. You know, we say we want to make $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year, but when we don't see that happen in a year or in 2 years, we kind of give up and just take whatever job we can get that's going to just pay the bills. Like, we stop pursuing our dreams of being a singer or a YouTuber or a successful entrepreneur or whatever the case may be, because we don't see our reality change as fast as we wanted to. What he's basically saying in this is, as long as you don't give up on what your definite purpose is, it's so strong, you're not going to stop. You're going to die trying. Think about 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. He literally was willing to do whatever it takes to get rich. And he did that through his music. Then obviously he went from music into the entertainment industry, like being a producer and having all these different businesses. But you got to just think about the hunger that these people have to really make it out of the hood or make it out of whatever situation that they have. And they're not going to stop until they get there. And you have to have that same definite purpose, and you have to move the same way. But that starts with, one, having a plan and realizing you can't be a drifter and just go wherever life throws you. That was my issue for a long time. I was just going where life threw me. Had some years where I made good money, some years where I made bad money, but never had a definite purpose with anything. The last thing I want to leave you guys with is, he says, I will eliminate hatred, jealousy, selfishness, because this will never bring me success. Never hate on the next person. I don't care who that person is. I don't care if he has the dream physique that you want. I don't care if he's pulling all the females in the world and you ain't pulling no females. You ain't got no emotion at all. Do not hate on the next man. There's no positive emotion that comes out of that. You're not going to feel any better about that or be poised to move more towards the man that you want to be. Instead of looking at these people and getting mad or getting jealous because you're not them, you need to look at them like, okay, what do I need to do to get to that point? Because clearly they're doing something right. Is it a charisma thing? Do I need to improve my charisma? Is it a overcoming objection thing so I can get more sales? Do I need to become a better salesman? Is it a physique thing? Do I need to eat better so I can have that 1% physique that nobody in the world has? Look at these people and stop being jealous or getting mad of what they have, but instead think, okay, what did this person do to get to that point where he's now getting all the success? How much pain did he have to go through? How much struggle did he have to go through? How can I learn something from him and apply it to myself as well? That way I can get rewarded with that eventually in due time.